It is Friday. It's time to talk more 49ers, especially this article that's published on The Athletic this morning because 49ers play a football game tomorrow. So I wrote a little bit about it. 5 49ers to watch against the Minnesota Vikings. No longer practice. The joint sessions were on Wednesday and Thursday. The actual game is on Saturday. Now, perhaps ironically, but this is the story of the NFL preseason. The 49ers, at least for their frontline players, practice was more serious than this game. So I do not expect to see Trey Lance play for the 49ers on Saturday, nor do I expect to see a lot of the 49ers frontliners and starters play on Saturday. They might need a couple to play just because of the numbers game. They have 85 on the roster right now. But this is mainly going to be an exhibition opportunity for back end of the roster guys. And even if they don't make the 49ers, well, the league's going to have game tape on them. And as we approach the real big cut down, the 53-man cut down in 11 days on August 30th, this is important stuff. So those of you who like the inner workings of the 49ers, you're probably going to have fun watching this game on Saturday evening in Minnesota because you're going to get to see the focus, the spotlight be on some of the more unheralded players. That's where this article comes through. I published it this morning on The Athletic, 5 49ers to watch against the Vikings from Jason Poe to Quantrez Knight. So please do check it out. I am copying and pasting it into the chat section as we speak right now. It is lunchtime with David, as K-Dubsville says. So hello, everybody. And here's the article. That's the link. You could check it out in the chat section, or if you're watching later, comment section pinned up on top. So let's talk a little bit about the 5 49ers that I think that people should be watching. And there's going to be, this is not an exhaustive list. There's going to be more to watch in this football game, but we can start with these 5. First of all, I want to talk the 49ers need for running back depth. They always have discussions and debates surrounding this team. Every single year it's a thing, right? People are like, should they carry JaMycal Hasty? Should they carry Jordan Mason? Should Trey Sermon get cut? All this stuff. Almost always it ends up being a moot point because somebody or multiple bodies get hurt at the running back position, and then the 49ers essentially have the decision made for them. The only exception I can think of here in the Shanahan era, since I've covered this football team in 2017, was last year when the debate was Wayne Gallman or JaMycal Hasty, and nobody got hurt, so JaMycal Hasty ended up getting the nod over Wayne Gallman. But it ended up being 2 snaps into the 2021 season. Raheem Mostert got hurt, season-ending knee surgery, and the 49ers sure hoped, and not hoped, they sure would have wished at that point that they had more running back depth. They couldn't carry anymore because the injury to Mostert happened 2 snaps in as opposed to before the 53-man roster cut. So that was just a bad break for the 49ers. But normally you have injuries help you make these decisions. And right now, Elijah Mitchell has a hamstring strain, and we saw Trey Sermon limping off the practice field yesterday in Minnesota. So we'll have to wait on updates for Sermon. Mitchell's expected back for week 1, so obviously I would expect him to make the roster, right? I don't think that there's going to be an IR situation there even after he makes the 53-man. So with Trey Sermon, we're just going to have to see how this is all going to play out because most of the time, something happens to where the 49ers have their minds made up for them. And in the case that there are injuries, either now or during the regular season, because you could obviously practice squad guys, Jordan Mason, the undrafted rookie out of Georgia Tech, is somebody who I really want to watch in this game. Because, I've talked about this before. Mason obviously ran the triple option while at Georgia Tech. The 49ers might run some triple option this season, but at the very least, the skills and the running feel and the burst that it takes to succeed to the outside in the triple option translates in at least some way to the 49ers outside zone, which is why as a 223-pounder, I really like Jordan Mason. Biggest back the 49ers have had, probably outside of Jacques Patrick, who was closer to 230 pounds last year, but it obviously didn't really work out for him. That was just a cup of coffee while the 49ers had injuries before they moved to Deebo Samuel in the backfield. You always look at these big backs and you're wondering, are they going to be able to burst properly for Shanahan's outside zone? And I think that Mason's background with Georgia Tech will really help him with that. And it's going to be his turn to shine for the 49ers in this game against the Vikings on Saturday. Marcelino McCrary-Ball, another player that, the story here is awesome. He was working at Home Depot in May when John Lynch called him up. He was, he wasn't at his job shift. He was with his 3-year-old daughter on the beach in Florida when the call came. But he held a job with Home Depot in May when Lynch called him up and offered him employment with, I'm guessing, a higher stream of income, a running back job for the linebacker job for the 49ers. Now, McCrary-Ball is going to try to stick with his team so he could make sure those paychecks keep on coming, right? And I think at the very least, there's going to be a realistic spot to make on the practice squad. But the 5th linebacker spot on the 49ers 53-man roster is something that needs to be addressed because obviously they have Warner, they have Al Shire, they have Greenlaw, they have Warren Burks. That's 4 out of 5. Who's number 5 going to go to? Well, I think the odds-on favorite is Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles because special teams is important. So it's going to be tough for any of these undrafted free agent rookie linebackers to make the 49ers 53-man roster if Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles is the favored number 5. But we're talking about the future here. We're talking about a 16-player practice squad. And with Jeremiah Gemmel, with Seguno Luby, and with this guy, Marcelino McCrary-Ball, all on the 49ers roster this offseason. And we saw McCrary-Ball, 4.5 speed. I mean, he was a nickel linebacker at Indiana, and we saw how fast he could fly after Diomedor Lenore knocked that ball up. He picked it off. It was a 50-plus yard return from Marcelino. 4.5 speed at the linebacker position is something the game just didn't see like 10 years ago. The game has changed so much in 10 years. I mean, I was watching the Manti Te'o documentary the other day, right? When I thought it was a great documentary. I recommend it on Netflix. But just from a football perspective, Manti was a 240 plus, 250, close to 250 pound linebacker who was running a 4.7 40 at the fastest, maybe 4.8. You just don't have that in this, 2022 game anymore. And the 49ers definitely don't have that because they're looking for these nickel types that can really run. And McCrary-Ball fits into that mold at the 4.5 40. So I'm excited to watch him fly around the field. I mean, you just can't make that kind of story up, right? Working at Home Depot, getting a call from John Lynch, and boom, Marcelino McCrary-Ball is now trying out for the 49ers over the course of this training camp. One other thing about him is that he was just so excited to be up there at his press conference earlier this week. His answers were long. We're talking like 3-minute long answers. He was just soaking it in, all kinds of positive energy. Marcelino McCrary-Ball ended up being up there for 16 to 17 minutes up at the lectern for his press conference. So you just love to see it. The guy has infectious energy, 3-year-old daughter back home. And obviously doesn't want to be working at that Home Depot anymore. He wants to get that spot on the 49ers, whether it be a practice squad spot or a spot on the 53-man roster. It'd be an upset to take that 5th linebacker spot, but he's going to be playing for it on Saturday. And that's a story that makes this game worth watching. A lot of people think the guy up on the screen right now, I'm looking at him, Jason Poe, makes this game worth watching. And I would agree. Josh Hokett just signed with the Arizona Cardinals yesterday. They're going to use him in an H-back role. Not as a fullback because Cliff Kingsbury doesn't have a standard fullback on that air raid roster. But the 49ers, at least for this game, aren't going to have a backup fullback. And I said at the top, I don't expect starters to really play. So I expect Kyle Juszczyk to sit. So what's Kyle going to do? Kyle Shanahan. Is Kyle going to go with just vanilla non-fullback formations? Is he just going to go line up mano-a-mano, see how good these guys are one-on-one that he has on the roster right now? Or is he going to try for a creative solution at fullback? In the past, that's been moving a tight end to the position. I think maybe he does that because they've got a cut from 85 to 80 after this game next Tuesday. So maybe you see some of your tight ends at that fullback spot to see, maybe this guy's adaptable enough to keep around at least until the 53-man cut down. So that's the most likely play because in the past when Kyle Juszczyk has been unavailable, the 49ers had gone with Ross Dwelly at fullback. But I think that ultimately they're going to want to back up fullback, somebody with a bigger body to be able to handle defensive ends, especially in the run game. And that's where all this Jason Poe intrigue comes in. Because the guy played fullback in community college. The guy runs a 4.8, 4.9, 40, 4.9, 4.89. Let's put it that way. I mean, he's unusual, right? He's built like a bowling ball. People want to see him at these skill positions. And if he makes the 53, maybe Poe makes it as, an 8th or 9th offensive lineman, but with kind of H-back versatility, right? Fullback / tight end versatility. So maybe this is the game where the 49ers don't have a backup fullback and they're not playing their starters. So Juszczyk might be out. Maybe this is the game to try Jason Poe out in a more unusual role. Even if they don't do that, because again, it's unlikely since he hasn't taken a snap there yet in practice. Even if the 49ers don't do that, I'm really, really excited to see how he improves along the offensive line, because this guy might be the gunner of not the gunner of the future. Sorry, I got my thoughts mixed up. He might be the center of the future. The gunner, that really might be the sixth wide receiver. That might be Malik Turner. Now, we talk about the wideouts. We talk about Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, Ray McCloud, and Danny Gray. Those guys are going to make the team. Locks, right? Number 6, who's it going to be? I think it's Malik Turner. 230-plus snaps on special teams last year for the Dallas Cowboys. Has played under 49ers special teams coordinator Brian Schneider already. He's a good gunner, special teams kind of ace player, and the 49ers are focusing on that phase of the game. So Malik Turner might be that 49ers sixth receiver. Am I sure? No, I'm not. But because they won't be playing a lot of starters in this game, I think Malik Turner might have an opportunity to really see some run in the offensive game plan. And if that's the case, well, then you'll see him working alongside Brock Purdy, catching passes from Nate Sudfeld, and it'll be a good time for the 49ers. You'll see what Malik Turner might have on the offensive side of the ball, and that might help him secure that sixth roster spot at wide receiver, which would really be an extension of special teams. So we'll keep an eye on it. Anyway, those of you who just joined, make sure you check out the article. It is linked in the chat section. Find that link. I just put it up on the screen. Going to put it on the comment section as well. Just wanted to make a quick video telling you to check it out. I'm going to go get a swim in, and then I'm going to go eat lunch, and then maybe pump out some more content. So like the video, sub to the channel. We'll talk to you all soon. Everybody take care. Oh, and check out the Pat McAfee show today. I was on the Pat McAfee show talking Jimmy Garoppolo. So I'm sure the stream is up there somewhere on YouTube, Twitter. They do a great job on their social media. So check it out, and I'll talk to you guys all soon. Thanks for joining. Bye now.